Hello, you're welcome to Kema Freak. My name is Kemi Omorugbe. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to make a peplum jacket with overlapping collar. We'll be starting by altering the basic bodice block and modifying it to create an overlap. Please check out my tutorial on how to draft a basic bodice block so you know where we actually started from. Here is my basic bodice block which I'll be working on. I need a full front pattern, so my paper is folded into two, and I use the bust dart technique, so I have a 1 inch wide dart at the side of the pattern. The waist dart and the bust dart meet at the bust point, and we'll be doing a bit of that transfer later. Here is the back pattern, and I have my regular back pattern which I'll be working on here. But first, let's treat the front pattern. So I've traced my pattern onto the other side. You can see those tiny lines, okay? But I won't be drawing out the other side of the pattern just yet. So I'm extending my pattern by 3 inches away from the center front, and from here I will connect the tip of the neckline to the waist. You can use a curve or you use a straight ruler like I did. Next, I'll transfer the bust dart to the waist, and I'll be doing that by slashing open the waist dart so I can close up the bust dart. So I connected the waist dart to about 1/8 of an inch away from the bust point. Now I'll be closing up the bust dart by folding one of the dart leg and placing it over the other, so that way I have a wider waist dart. So I'll just hold this down with a tape and go ahead to cut the rest of the pattern. Now here is the front pattern we'll be plaiting on fabric, and I'll need 2 of these for the front. Here is the back pattern, but we won't be using the zip allowance because there will be no zip at the back. However, I will be tightening the back a little bit just to make sure it lays flat on the back. So I'm tightening by 1/2 an inch at the center back, and I'm connecting it somewhere along the back line that way. So I'll be splitting open the back from this point. So because of this 1/2 an inch I'll be taking out of the center back, I need to add additional 1/2 an inch along the waist line just to make sure we don't have any deficits. And now I can go ahead and cut out the back pattern. The neckline depth for the back pattern is 1/2 an inch because I'll be attaching a collar. Also note that I haven't added any seam allowance to this pattern. I'll be doing that when transferring to fabric. Now here is the front and the back pattern. I'll be transferring this onto fabric, and I need 2 pieces for each of these. So I've put my fabric on fold so I can cut out the front pattern for the left and right side of the body. And while cutting the fabric, I'll be adding 1/2 an inch allowance at the neckline, 1 inch allowance at the side, 1/2 an inch along the dart, and 1 inch at the waistline and shoulder line and the armhole. So while cutting out the dart, I left that 1/2 an inch that will have been part of the waist dart. So that's what I'll be sewing this dart together by. I'll be sewing it by 1/2 an inch, so that kind of takes away the regular waist dart. Okay, and then I didn't cut it up until the bust point, but rather I came down by 1 inch, so that way I don't have a pointed edge at the bust point. Now for the back pattern, I'll be adding half an inch along the armhole, shoulder line, neckline, and also half an inch along the center back, then 1 inch at the side and half an inch along the waist. So I need to cut out 2 pieces of this as well for the both side of the back. Next, I'll be going ahead to cut out the peplum for this peplum top, and please you need to check out the very detailed tutorial I made on how to achieve different degrees of fullness for your peplums. So please check it out. It is very detailed, very well explained. For this project, I'll be making a 360-degree flare, but then an exaggerated one so I can pleat the peplum along the waistline. So I used the value of the waist circumference multiplied by 2 and added additional 7 inches for the overlap. So I'll be able to pleat along the waistline. It won't just be a straight peplum. So I divided that by 6.28 as explained in that video I referred you to. So I've used that now to mark out the radius of this flare, and I'll be cutting out this inner circumference. So while cutting the inner circle, I added half an inch allowance. You can see I didn't cut exactly where I marked. So from my mark now, I'm marking out the length of the flare. Once I'm done with that, I'll proceed to cut it out. And while I'm doing that, I'll be adding half an inch allowance along the edge. Now I'm done with this piece. I'll just fold it and set it apart. Next, I have put a fabric on fold, and I used the length that corresponds to the length of the front neckline plus the back neckline, and then the width of this band is 4 inches. That's I need 3.5 inches with extra half an inch. So this is what we'll be using to create the collar for this outfit. So make sure the length of material you are putting on fold is as long or longer than the length of the front neckline added to the back neckline, because we'll be sewing it from one side of the front neckline through the back neckline to the other side of the front neckline. So I'm just cutting this piece out. I'll go ahead to add a fusible interfacing, something that will give it a little bit of firmness, and also to the main pieces of my fabric I'll be adding fusible interfacing for the back, the front, just to give my outfit a good structure. And here is the band, and then you can also add maybe a firm fusible interfacing for the peplum or the flare parts of the outfit. I went ahead to cut out sleeve for this dress. Please refer to my very detailed video on how to draft a sleeve pattern to know how you can make yours. So that is it for this tutorial. We'll be moving on to the sewing tutorial. Please watch out for my next video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Oh, before you go, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, and be sure to watch my other videos. You can also drop your comments, questions in the comment section. I'll be attending to each and every one of them. Thank you very much for watching once again, and see you